Hello guys and girls, my name is Purple Hatman, and in this video I'd like to talk to you about the other great hobby passion of my life, Marvel Comics. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the Hulk and why he is beyond Omega level. Because as much as I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube talking about why the Hulk is a powerful character and all of his, strongest moments and whatever, I've never seen one actually talking about why he's beyond Omega level, why he can affect an entire planet or more. And that's just what we're going to be taking a look at in this video. So, let's get going. So the first thing we need to take a look at is Planet Hulk, because this is really the story that takes the Hulk from being an incredibly strong character, like even in superhero terms, to being a character whose strength can literally affect planets, specifically in this moment right here. So this moment is when the tectonic plates of the planet Sakaar, which the Hulk is on, have been blown apart and are literally drifting away from each other, like the whole tectonic plates of the planet. And the Hulk, being an insanely powerful character, jumps in to the lava in between the tectonic plates, grabs a tectonic plate in each hand and pulls them back together, literally stopping the planet from breaking apart with just raw strength. I mean, that's like grabbing America in one hand and Europe in the other and just pulling them closer together. I mean, this must be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of tons that he is just dragging together here, which he has to get extremely angry, but it's something he can do. And it's just amazing, and definitely something an Omega level character would be able to do. So obviously the next thing we need to talk about is World War Hulk, because immediately after Planet Hulk, you get World War Hulk, and it is really, truly the story where the Hulk goes from being ridiculously strong in Planet Hulk to being apocalyptically strong, Omega level strong, beyond Omega level strong. The first thing I think is worth mentioning from this story is when the Hulk is attacked by Storm of the X-Men and Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four, who are both Omega level characters in their own right. Johnny Storm having the power of a sun, and Storm being a mutant who can affect the weather on an entire planet, making her an Omega level mutant. And although they're not using the full force of their powers here, admittedly, it's still worth noting that the Hulk easily survives this attack and is just completely unfazed and knocks them both out literally right after this. Now obviously the standout fight from World War Hulk will be the Hulk versus the Sentry, because it's at the climax of the story. And the Sentry is a character who has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. That means he can hit as hard as 1,000,000 exploding suns explode, like the same amount of force. He is as resistant as that implies. And the Hulk here meets him absolute punch for punch, pound for pound, completely holds his own. Which is something I can only imagine a beyond Omega level character would be able to do. A lot of videos I've heard say that the Hulk and the Sentry drew this fight, that they fought each other to a standstill. That is in no way, shape or form true, because the Hulk absolutely wins this fight. Because right here you'll be seeing, as they've reverted to their human forms of Bruce Banner and Robert Reynolds, that Bruce Banner lands the final punch, alright? Crack, right on the jaw, okay? You see that? Then, here's the next panel where Robert Reynolds says, "Bruce, thanks," and then collapses, okay? Unconscious, drops to the ground, leaving Bruce Banner standing over his body. If in a boxing match, one of the fighters knocks out the other fighter, even if the other fighter is covered in blood, the one who did the knocking out still wins. So this is absolutely a victory for the Hulk. Now while the Sentry is knocked out, this is when we get Bruce Banner turning back into the Hulk not 30 seconds after the fight, and the Hulk goes into his most powerful form ever put to comic, which is Worldbreaker Hulk. In this form, the Hulk literally raises his foot to about halfway up your shin kind of height to down on the ground and nearly sinks the entire east coast of America. Just sinks it all into the ocean just with the force of that one step. Now, if the Hulk were to take both of his fists in this moment over his head and bring them right down to the ground for a good old two-fisted ground pound, I don't see why the planet wouldn't just shatter in half. Like, that's it. The whole planet would just crack right down the middle, blow up, and that's the end of planet Earth. And I don't see why a force of that magnitude wouldn't knock other planets in our solar system out of orbit, leading the whole thing into a big galactic calamity. And that is something I think we'll all agree, say it with me now, only an Omega level character or beyond could manage. So following World War Hulk, the next story to really have a lot of importance is a story called Heart of the Monster, where the Hulk goes into his Worldbreaker form for the second time ever. His cousin She-Hulk and his best friend Rick Jones / A-Bomb, the blue armored Hulk, have been poisoned with like this alien poison, and that they're going to die slow and agonizing deaths. And the Hulk just loses it. Like, he just goes into his Worldbreaker form and once again nearly sinks a whole portion of America with a single footstep. But the real important moment of that story actually comes later, when the Hulk is transported to the Dark Dimension, so the dimension of Dormammu and his sister Umar. And it's in this dimension where there's basically a wishing well involved, so the Hulk can really let loose without having long-term consequences. Like, that's what he's wished for. So this is the Hulk really unleashed and like not caring who he hurts or how much or why. Like, he's just absolutely letting go here. And he actually enters into a fight with Red She-Hulk, who just about has the power, I think, to survive this conflict, but she's never going to be on the same level as the Hulk. She's just, she's just in this conflict. And they jump towards each other, they fight, and in the impact, the entire planet, I'm going to stutter here because the entire planet and everyone on it is vaporized. Like, here you can see everyone just being, on the atomic level, torn to pieces by their fight here. And, like, the Hulk, like I say, is putting off the majority of the power here, like, the vast majority of the power, I believe. And even, like, powerful beings like Fin Fang Foom, who's, like, this cosmic dragon, basically, even he is completely vaporized like he's nothing. Like, he's not any more powerful or resistant than anyone else here, and trust me, he is. And just to put the final nail in the coffin, here is the whole planet being utterly, completely destroyed by the force of their impact. And this is something only an Omega level person could do, and being how easily he destroys this, because this isn't the Hulk destroying this out of some kind of malicious anger. This is the Hulk destroying this out of like fun and letting loose, because later on he's like laughing with the She-Hulk. He's like with the Red She-Hulk, sorry. He's like just laughing, and this is him just letting loose and like not caring. But if he wanted to really cause some destruction and like, destroy even more than this planet, I have no doubt that he could here, because, yeah, he really is just that powerful, and I think this absolutely proves it. Now, the final moment I want to talk about is actually not even from a Hulk comic. It's actually from a Spider-Man comic, a story called Alpha. And basically in this story, a kid gets superpowers and he's called an Alpha level threat. But in a way, he's going to grow into an Omega level threat. And this is told to us by Reed Richards, and he actually talks about what an Omega level threat is. And the people he lists right here are the Hulk, Sentry, and the Phoenix. He says when one of them attacks, we call it an Omega level threat. Now that is absolutely bonkers, because one, that confirms that the Hulk is an Omega level threat. Hands down, if Reed Richards says that, the smartest person in the Marvel Universe, it must be true. Also, you've got the Sentry in there. Now, like we've just said in World War Hulk, the Hulk beat the Sentry, and there's quite a well-documented moment where Spider-Man, in passing, says that he once saw the Sentry fight Galactus to a standstill, like they were evenly matched. And if the Hulk beat the Sentry, by the transition of property, I think that's the right term, the Hulk can beat Galactus? I believe that's what's being said here. Then, of course, we have the Phoenix Force. Now, the Phoenix Force is the representation of the concept of death and rebirth throughout the multiverse. So when you see the Phoenix in a particular universe, it's just one shard of that bigger multiversal concept. We regularly see through the comics like the Phoenix Force itself just flying around the universe, and hosts with the Phoenix Force, destroying whole planets, destroying suns, and if you destroy a sun, you pretty much destroy a whole solar system. So it is an exceptionally powerful being, and the Hulk is being mucked in here with that group, with the Sentry, and by extension with Galactus, with the Phoenix Force. Those are the people whose power level he is being compared to. He's in that bracket, which is just insane, and obviously makes him Omega level or beyond. And that's it. That's why I believe the Hulk is a beyond Omega level character. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it interesting and informative. If you did, you can leave me a like and a comment if you want to, and I will do more comic book videos in the future, so if you want to see them, you can subscribe to make sure you don't miss them. But until then, I have been Purple Hatman. You have been a great audience. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye-bye.